So leveling up the battle pass in MW3 and Warzone can as always be a really long and boring journey, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make it as quick and as easy as possible for the second season of MW3 and Warzone. This video provides the best and fastest ways to level up tiers quickly in season 2, so be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video as it's packed full of tips, but if you do want to jump to a specific part of the video, feel free to use the timestamps in the description or the video chapters. I'll talk about which modes are best at the end. Now if you find this useful, be sure to drop a like on the video and check out my other season 2 guides. Before we carry on with the video, if you're looking to permanently unlock the new MW3 mastery camos, or play in bot lobbies to max out your guns and unlock camos quickly, or get your hands on an instant delivery pre-made account, then be sure to check out mitchcactus.com. These guys are the biggest and most reliable sellers with tons of offerings for MW3 with completely safe and legitimate services on all platforms. So far they've almost 10,000 reviews on Trustpilot, so if any of that sounds good to you guys, then make sure to use code RAGER for 5% off for a limited time only. Check out the link in the description. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So we'll start out with MW3 multiplayer and zombies and then move on to Warzone. In all game modes, including multiplayer, the most important factor as always is the time played. So longer matches are more efficient than shorter ones because you're spending more time actually in the game playing and not time in the lobby or loading screen where it doesn't count towards your battle pass. So always try and choose longer matches like domination, hardpoint, ground war, invasion, those kinds of modes. As well as this, you also need to make sure you're earning a decent amount of XP, and that's where the next tips are really important. So as well as longer game modes, you want to be playing modes and maps that have higher XP earn rates. So these might generally include map mosh pits, including Rust, Shipment, Meat are some of the best ones. They might not be around when season 2 launches. I'm sure some of them will, but if not, we've got some new ones for the season. So first of all, we've got Stash House, as well as Vista and Departures. These are all the launch season 2 maps, the 6v6 ones. Now Stash House is quite a small map. I assume it will be the same kind of size as Meat. So it's a new map, but it's quite small. So hopefully it should be good fun to play on and also good for getting XP, camos, that kind of thing. So I'd highly recommend playing Stash House in season 2, as I'm sure it's going to be great for weapon XP. Otherwise, like I say, the classic small map mosh pits like Rust, Shipment and Meat. Later on in season 2 Reloaded, there's going to be Das House Remastered, which is from Vanguard. It's a nice small map as well, pretty good. So that will be nice to play as well when that comes around. If there's no good 24/7 map mosh pits, which I highly doubt, then you just want to, as I say, play longer games with good objectives and lots of XP. So ones like domination, hardpoint, ground war, those kind of modes. Sometimes they do hardcore versions of those modes, even better because enemies die more easily, so you get more kills and therefore more XP. And in terms of the class, you want to just make sure you're equipping certain things to give you more XP. So make sure you're equipping the decoy grenade and use them every time you spawn in, as if it goes off near to an enemy, when they die you get decoy assist, you get lots of it. Try and spread them out, but put them in high flow areas where it's going to come across enemies. Just keep using them every time you spawn in basically. Make sure you're also using lethals such as Semtex grenade, a field upgrade such as DDoS, which you can keep activating to DDoS enemies or their equipment, or you can use a trophy system, put it down into a high flow area, especially in close quarters maps like Shipment, and then if you put it onto like an objective or a popular area, people will keep throwing loads of equipment, but obviously if it goes off near your trophy system will deactivate it and you'll get XP, which is good. Ideally you also want to toggle from kill streaks to score streaks so that you can get these streaks more easily and score from other things count, not just kills. I'd recommend putting on ones like UAV, a counter UAV, and then another one such as a sentry turret. So in terms of multiplayer, what do you want to do to actually do well in the game and get lots of XP? Obviously make sure you've got a good class, and if you do need to level up your weapon to get a good class, then check out my weapon XP guide. Also make sure you're using your kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades, and also make sure you're destroying the enemy kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades as well, as that will all count as score. Also make sure you go through the objective as much as you can, really push for this. So if it's domination, keep going for the flags. If it's hardpoint, keep going for the hardpoint, and if it's kill confirmed, for example, you obviously keep picking up the tags. Make sure you're capturing the enemy objectives back for your team, and also make sure you're defending your team's ones against the enemy, as they both give you a lot of attack and defender XP. And obviously if you're getting kills while attacking or defending objectives, you'll get even more XP, which is fantastic. Obviously you want to get as many kills as possible, as well as using decoy grenades, kill streaks, all that kind of stuff like we said. For multiplayer, you also want to make sure you're doing challenges. So we've got up to 9 daily challenges. We've got lots of weekly challenges as well, up to 14 plus cool rewards. You've got your base MW3 calling card challenges, as well as the season 1 and season 2 calling card challenges. And you've also got your camo challenges, to work towards your priceless and interstellar multiplayer camos. If you guys need help with any of those camos, check out my camo guides playlist via the card on screen or link in the description for camo guides, gilded gun guides, that kind of thing. And so there's loads of different challenges you can work towards. They all give you tons of XP, so choose something that you like and try and overlap as many challenges as you can to get XP more quickly. So for example, work towards a camo challenge while you're doing a daily or a weekly challenge, as they'll often have similar challenges that you can overlap. So it's worth going for multiple at the same time, just to get more XP. That's it for multiplayer. What about for zombies? Well, in zombies, things have obviously changed since last season. So bear in mind that zombies matches are generally quite long, and therefore longer matches are more efficient as there's less time not in the game. So I would say zombies is quite a good mode. Like I said, the main factor is the time played. So literally just playing a long zombies game is good, where you don't go down, but obviously you also want to make sure you're getting a lot of XP. So let's talk about how you can actually do that. Now, what you need to do is you need to try and boost XP earned from each aspect of the game, which you can see at the end of the game when you exfil, it will come up with all the boosts, and you basically want to kind of maximize each one of those. So the first one is the exfil bonus. Obviously make sure you're exfilling to get a bonus on top. Zombie kills is really important. Each zombie kill will get you 20 XP, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you get like 10 zombie kills, that's 200 XP, 100 it's 2000, 1000 is 20,000 XP, and so on. So the more kills you get, the more XP you're going to get. So this is definitely one of the biggest things you can influence. You also want to make sure you're doing different activities and contracts, opening lots of loot containers, visiting different points of interest on the map, and sort of miscellaneous items extracted as well. Obviously getting cash as well is going to give you XP too. So all this stuff is going to boost the amount of XP you get. So highly recommend working on each of those when you're in the game. And also don't forget to go for the story missions as well. So we've got Act 1 to 3 from pre-season, and then we've also got Act 4 from Season 1, which is good. There will be more coming as well in the future, I'm sure. So definitely work on the story missions. They give you a lot of XP. They get you different unlocks for zombies to make it easier in game and so on. So definitely worth going for. In terms of what other things you can actually do in the game, I'd highly recommend working towards contracts. That's an easy way to farm lots of XP. So before you start the game, make sure you put on a good field upgrade such as an energy mine, put on a Semtex grenade or something like that, maybe a stim or some decoy grenades. Now when you're in the game, there's a couple of different contracts that you might want to focus on. The first one is the Outlast contract, and this is good because there's still a glitch ongoing. It may get patched, and if so I'll let you guys know, but at the moment it's not patched. So this contract, what you can do is basically it's glitched. So if you start the contract, go to this Outlast contract and activate the PND, wait for it to go up to about 90% while you're in the zone. Once you're about 80 to 90%, then cancel the contract, open the inventory and hold down Y or triangle, and once you cancel the contract, the game will still be glitched and think that the contract's ongoing even though it's not, so it will keep spawning in more and more zombies even though the contract's finished. So once you've done that, the zombies will keep infinitely spawning in, and you can just keep getting kills over and over again throughout the game. It's a really nice easy way to get kills, and you can also farm that for XP or camos or whatever it might be as well. The other thing I'd say is, alongside this contract glitch, it is also worth just literally going for loads of contracts that you're farming over and over again. Now I recommend if you have a decent weapon that does a lot of damage, you can easily pack punch it and increase the rarity of the weapon and then farm contracts over and over again. The ones I like are deliver cargo contracts, and bounty or HVT contracts are my second favourite as well. But if you've got a really good weapon and you've got good gear, you can easily just go to like the tier 2 zone and farm tier 2 bounty contracts over and over again. You can easily kill the special zombie really quickly and just keep farming them for lots and lots of XP. So that's definitely worth doing. The more contracts you do, the more money you can get, so you can upgrade your stuff, and you also get lots of XP as well. Other contracts are good, like spore control and that kind of thing, but those are probably the best two to go for. And you can also farm exfil points as well to get kills for XP. But when you are finishing the game, make sure you head to the nearest exfil. There's still a fair amount of zombies, so it's worth doing at least one or more rounds of exfil to leave the match. Make sure you use your gun, lethal equipment, sentry turret or whatever kill streak, and your field upgrade just to get more kills and more XP. And the good thing is that obviously these exfils have been boosted since Season 1. So before Season 1 it was really good, then they've nerfed the exfil points and now they've boosted them again. So the zombie numbers have been boosted a bit, not to before but still a decent amount, and also the bosses at exfil since Season 1 have been boosted too. So you have some bosses now that will attack you obviously more in higher tier zones, so there's still a fair number of zombies and kills and therefore XP to go for, which makes it worth it. I would recommend staying in the game till basically the Ether Storm expands. At that point you can leave the game or stay in for an extra 15 minutes and go on the final exfil. It's up to you, but try and stay in the game as long as you can, do all those things I mentioned, and you're going to level up really fast in zombies. Finally, let's talk about Warzone. So for Warzone, as we said before with the other modes, longer matches are more efficient, so try and stay in the match for longer because you're going to get more time and XP towards your progression. Now we'll talk about the best game modes in a minute, but in order to earn as much XP as possible, you want to make sure you've got a good class, so make sure you level up your weapons so you can put on decent attachments, and make sure you look up a good class as well. Make sure you do lots of looting, like opening loot crates, that kind of thing. That will give you more money to buy stuff, but also gives you more XP. And you can do looting from opening loot boxes, running over dead enemy bodies, finding piles of cash as floor loot on top of roofs or in unsearched rooms, that kind of thing. You also obviously want to make sure you're getting as many kills as possible, do as many contracts as you can. Scavenger, intel and most wanted are the best, I'd say, but there's also the big game bounty ones too. Try to go between these fast with a helicopter ATV. Make sure you're surviving longer, so be careful and safe, don't run and gun too much otherwise you might die, and therefore you won't have as much time played in the game or XP. And also make sure you have a good placement bonus overall. So in normal battle royale, it's about how long you survived relative to everyone else, whereas in Plunder it's all about collecting cash. So whatever the game mode is, try and focus on that for the placement bonus as you get more XP. And also don't forget about the pre-game lobby. These pre-game lobby kills will count towards your XP, so get as many kills as you can while you wait and start the game. Now in terms of which modes are best, it kind of varies from time to time, but at the moment you want to play small map modes on like Vondel or Fortune's Keep, or otherwise I'd recommend playing Plunder. Now Fortune's Keep I believe will just be Resurgence, so not quite as good. When Vondel Lockdown is back, that is great because you can capture zones, get XP fast and weapon XP too, so that's a great one. Similar methods, you're just mainly kind of going for the objective, capturing the zones, getting kills, using decoys, that kind of thing. But for Plunder, this is probably going to be the best mode at the moment in the game, in Season 2, and it's great for easy XP, it's fun and it's a fast way to level up too. So I would say with Plunder you can get 2 to 3 tiers per hour, and here is is what you want to do in Plunder. So when you spawn in, try and find an area of the map away from the flight path with very few players but lots of buildings and places to search for loot crates. So stay away from the flight path, because your ultimate goal in Plunder is obviously to get first place by earning as much money as possible. So run around, open as many crates as you can by following the faint humming noise to, find where the crates are. Adjust your sound settings if you need to hear it better. Then keep moving to stay ahead and just open as many crates as you can. If you find a cash deposit balloon, great, use it so you don't lose the money, for example if you die. And also keep an eye out for cash piles on the ground in unsearched areas like rooftops or unvisited rooms and so on. And look for money near dead players and kill as many enemies as you can that you come across to get more cash and more XP. Do a few contracts if you can along the way while opening these loot crates. So for example, you could do a scavenger contract where you have to find crates and then kind of open those crates to do the scavenger contract and open the crates at the same time, so kind of 2 in 1. Alternatively, the most wanted contracts are very good. If you're well equipped, you are fairly safe, and you can also run down the time as well. So open any loot containers, whether that's duffel bags, first aid kits on the wall, loot boxes, any kind of loot containers will run down the timer for the most wanted contracts by 10 seconds to run it down from 4 minutes to less. So definitely worth doing those. You can run them down very quickly and your teammates opening loot containers will count too. Now keep doing as much as you can to get the most money, kills, looting and contracts complete as possible in the game. Work with your teammates. If they're working on something else like doing contracts or getting kills, you can focus on something else like opening the loot boxes or vice versa, and that will all count towards your team's overall amount of score, and therefore you'll all get more XP overall. So it helps to work together. And if you get first place, you get a lot of XP, sort of 40 to 50,000 XP, and a lot of bonuses. So definitely try and work towards that if you can. Very easy if you work on all these different things in the game. As well as this in Warzone, as per usual, don't forget to do the daily challenges we've mentioned, the weekly challenges, camo challenges, the seasonal challenges, and then try and overlap all of these challenges as well to get XP done more quickly. So finally, in this Season 2 Battle Pass video, I wanted to talk about which mode is best overall. Again, it kind of depends on what mode you play, how well you do on each one and so on. As we say, generally longer matches are always better than shorter ones. I would say MW3 Zombies is probably the most efficient way if you're good at getting a decent amount of XP. So if you're doing contracts fast, if you're getting a lot of kills, you can easily do really well in MW3 Zombies. And it's a long match, you don't keep loading in and out of the game, so it's very efficient. So I say Zombies is probably best. Second best is probably longer games of multiplayer with high XP. So if it's long games on like Shipment or any of the close quarters mosh pits, then it can be better. Otherwise, I would say Warzone is probably second best, particularly like Plunder, where you can get lots of looting, cash, contracts done, all that kind of stuff. It can definitely be second best, or definitely similar to Zombies. And then like I said, multiplayer is very variable, depends how well you do. If you do really well, you can do better on average than the other modes, but obviously there'll be games where you don't do as well. So I'd say on average, you probably do less well in multiplayer overall, and therefore might be worth going for one of the other two modes. But obviously this is subject to change, it always kind of varies, so kind of just keep an eye on the latest game modes and how things are changing, and I'll keep you guys updated accordingly. But thank you for watching. Hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video and check out my other Season 2 guides, like how to level up weapons fast, zombies guides, weapon unlock challenge guides, and so on. Thank you for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you all on the next video.